All right, y'all. You know what time it is. Welcome. Chef K's Kitchen. Welcome. Come on in. You already know. It's been a while. I missed y'all. Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. You know, I'm excited to have everybody in the kitchen. You know how we get down, how I tie my apron. Man, it's been a minute. I see all of y'all out there. I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, Chef Khari Bell. It's our kitchen. You know how we do it. We're gonna start off with a nice, beautiful drink. Everything that we do, we talk about it. You know, in the kitchen, you gotta talk. And now that we're grown, we actually get to do it together and make drinks. So, as a chef, you know, we love flavors and we do flavors. So, I took what we call a vodka mule. I don't drink vodka anymore. I drink tequila. So, I personally thought of something different. So, we're gonna make a honey ginger reposado mule. So what we're going to do is start off making our simple syrup. Grab our trusty dusty saucepan. So in the saucepan, you're going to take one lime, cut it in half, squeeze it, get the juice out, right? Oh, look at that. So that's one lime. You want to take one lobe of ginger. Show you an easy, quick way to peel ginger. Take a spoon. Real simple. You see that? Everything's coming off. Nice and simple. And all we're doing is taking the skin off. You don't have to. This is just for presentation purposes. You know, us chefs, we're artists. We love that. So, oh, all my people. Shout out to my guy, Addy Ad, my brother Dell, my family, friends, everybody that's been looking out for me. It's been a while. I love it. I appreciate you for everything you've done. For me to be here, I can't help it. I can't say it enough. Thank you. It's an awesome place. I've been cooking for a while, and I actually get to do it now in front of millions. Thanks to everybody that's looked out for me. I appreciate you. I love you for it. So awesome. So, you see him peeling the ginger? Just getting it all nice and ready because we're making a simple syrup out of this. And the simple syrup is to actually add sweetness to a drink. We put the lime in there because the lime offsets the, for lack of a better term, bitterness of the tequila. But the reason why we're using a reposado is because that tequila is actually very smooth. It's almost like a whiskey drinking person. And if you drink whiskey, you'll love that. So, now, got it all nice and peeled. It's easy, y'all. You see that? See how simple it is? Just with a spoon. No knife, none of that. Alright, so you already know how I work. I gotta work clean. Clean off my little cutting board. I just wanted to do that for you guys. Show you that. Alright. Now, all you want to do is chop up a little bit of that. Rough chop. And we're going to throw it in to our saucepan, right? What is a mule without mint? Gotta have mint. Gotta have mint. It's so awesome, right? So then, we want to take the leaves off. Boom. Got our leaves. Now, you just want to rough chop, because all we're doing is trying to get the oil out, get the smell of the mint in there. Now, sugar. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 honey bear, which is 8 ounces. And this is how you make your nice simple syrup. And then we're going to add 1 cup of water. Bring to a boil, then turn it down to a simmer so we can make sure that everything is incorporated. All our flavors and everything else, we want to make it nice and delicious. And all it's going to come out, you're going to taste the ginger, you're going to taste the mint, you're going to taste the lime. This is why we love honey, because we can do fun stuff with it. Oh, shout out to everybody. I love you guys. Thank you. So, from there, add 1 cup of water, trusty dusty mason jar, beautiful 16-ounce jar, fill it up halfway, and it literally says 1 cup on the side. And don't forget about the meniscus. For those of y'all who don't know what a meniscus is, that is the lowest point in the dip of any liquid that you use. And those that know me, we do it together. You know, I tell you guys all the time what's up with all the little ins and outs, because we like cooking. People don't realize that cooking is really, really a science. And it's one of those things is we're artists, we're scientists, and we show so much love. We love hard. So put this on the stove. Bring it up to a boil. And you want to stir. You definitely want to stir it so you can incorporate all your flavors, right? You all know how I work. I gotta work clean. So all we do is rinse off our stuff. Take that. So now what we're going to do is work on our garnishes for our drink. That's what we have going on. Boom. Make sure our board's clean. Everybody that knows, you've been in my kitchen, stays clean. It's one of those things where you gotta work clean. Have to. So right now, stirring it up, just making sure. You can use a whisk, you can use a spoon, everything gets incorporated. And the science behind your simple syrup is just this. Water is the perfect conduit for flavor, and you add things to it. So when you heat water up, it expands and allows for you to mix things into it, such as sugar, flavors, everything else. So that's how you get tea, coffee, all of those things. So right now we're creating our own syrup, and that syrup is going to be the sweetness of our drink for our tequila mule. Now, what you want to do for your tequila mule, I just so happen to have ice right here. These beautiful, nice ice cubes. Getting them all nice and sexy in the glass. This is for my people that are here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. It's so awesome. I love it. So, boom. Now we want to get our garnishes ready. You want to half your lime. Half it again. Half it again. And then I'm just going to fillet this one. Because really, I want the peel. So, then just go down and continue to clean out the insides, right? So I just want to fillet it because I'm going to use it as a super duper beautiful garnish. Then we have it down the middle. Now we have two, and we just want to roll it. First, you take your roll, wrap it around, lay it on the side. Same thing for the second one. Here we go. Then we want to look for beautiful mint leaves. That's one huge one. That's perfect. There's the second one. Then our two pieces of lime, you want to cut in half. Set those over to the side. Then we'll take a piece of ginger and we're going to slice it very thin. And you notice I did not peel it. That was on purpose. So that is for the contrast. You see what I mean? This is what we're going to do with that. And this is all for our garnish. Sounds like our syrup is boiling. It's perfect. It's done. So we just want to stir it. And right now, we want to let it develop some flavors. That's the reason why we're letting it go in there enough. And I'm going to take the lime that I use and just squeeze it in there because I just took the fillet out. We don't waste anything around here. Nothing. So quick hand wash. You know what we do? And we keep going. Oh, good to see you guys. So, it's just everything else is happening. We just want to say thank you to all the supporters, everybody else that's been out there. This is the best part, tequila. So, needless to say, you have to know your flavor profiles, right? So, I've never had this tequila before. I just want to try it just so I know what I'm mixing. So now, I just turned off my simple syrup. Oh, you guys know. Let me show you something. Let me come right to you. Oh, look at that. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Look at that right there. You see that? That's amazing. That's how you want it to look. Nice amber color. That's from the honey, mixing with the raw sugar and the ginger and the mint. Like when I tell you this is what you want, this is what you want. So, back to this. Salud. We just want to try it. We got to see what's happening. Oh. So, this is awesome. This gives you earthy notes. Very, very earthy notes. It gives you like pine almost, but then you have a sweet caramel finish to it, and it's smoky, it's herbaceous, it's awesome. So, this is what you want when you're making your mule. That's the reason why. So, El Campo, thank you very much. So now what we want to do is cool down. We want to cool down our simple syrup, and I'll just take a little bit and cool it down, because that's all we're going to need. About that much, and I'm going to place it in an ice bath and keep stirring while I'm doing the ice bath. So here's my ice bath, and this is a quick way to be able to cool something down very quickly. This is what we do for pasta. We do anything for that, and the reason why is because the ice shocks it and stops it from cooking. And this cooking process, once you end the cooking process, that's where you want it to cook. Like if you ever made pasta, and it just didn't work, or you made pasta and you came back and it was all mushy and everything else, and you're trying to figure out what happened, it kept cooking. It's called carryover cooking. That's what happens when you don't cool stuff down very quickly, right? Because you want to stop the cooking process at that point. That's what we need to do, right? So right now, all we're doing is cooling down our simple syrup so it doesn't melt all of our ice, right? So you just put it in an ice bath and continue to stir it, and you see all the steam escaping. That's just cooling it down. That's what's making it happen, all right? So all my boozy people out there, this is for you. All right, so that's cooled down enough whereas I can use it now. See that? Add our tequila, about 1 ounce. Well, you know me, it's gonna be 2 ounces. We add our simple syrup. Straight to the tequila, right? And then we want to mix this up. All right, so then see our 2 cups of ice. We're gonna split it between the two. So what I am gonna do is pick out some of the ginger from the pot, right? Because this is just gonna add flavor to your drink. So we bring it over, drop it in, drop it in. Look at that, look at that. So now, what you wanna do is take your lime, the last little bit of lime, squeeze. Squeeze. Then you grab your ginger beer. Thank you, Trader Joe's. I love you for that. Boom. Oh my goodness. I told you guys. I already told you. You already know what it is. This is how we get down in Chef Khari's kitchen. So, 3 little pieces on top. Take your mint leaf. All right. One last thing. Let's stir. And there we go. This is a Tequila reposado mule. I love it. I promise you, it's one of the best drinks you'll probably have for the summertime. I know it's getting ready to go into the fall. This is something delicious. We'll be right back. I'm gonna catch you. Then we start cooking. I promise you, it's what you want. Welcome back, y'all. Here at Chef Khari's kitchen. So we started off with our reposado mule. My God, this is amazing. Wish you were here so I could share it with you. Then I got my DJ over there. Just to let y'all know, we've been doing this for, God, it's been 4 years now. We started off in the middle of a pandemic when nobody had anything else to do. So I reached out to him. Well, actually, he reached out to me. He was like, yo, my guy, I got you. Let me do your music while you doing this, because we doing something different. And that's how this came about. The culinary project, this cooking, everything has just been bananas from there. And I owe that dude so much. Like from the day we met, we've been rocking. So he's here with me now. I want everybody to know about my guy, Mr. DJ Addy Ad. He's amazing.
Yes, sir.
He's back there just hooking it up. So without further ado, we're going into our meal. You already know how we do it. So we're going into the meal. You know, we have a little sip, we drink, we talk shit, and I actually have him in person, which is crazy. Like, I never imagined we'd be here, but I love it. So, what we're making for you today is a roasted grape barbecue salmon with sauteed broccoli and lemon and herb couscous, right? So, I know you're wondering about roasted grapes. Roasted grapes is something, I don't know. I was at home. I had some grapes, honestly, that were about to go bad. I'm like, so what am I going to do with them? And I need to cook with them. So I actually roasted them and tasted them. I was like, oh my God, this would go great with my barbecue sauce, because I make a barbecue sauce. Everybody knows K's Sweet Spot barbecue sauce is amazing. Or Chubby Bear barbecue sauce is what we do. So I took that and I was like, okay, so let me create something with this. And then I came up with that, and with the barbecue salmon, it's been crazy from there. And I wanted to share this with everybody because it was one of those things where I just couldn't hold it and I couldn't keep it to myself. I mean, but the roasted grapes, you see I have 2 different types. They're actually, you want to taste your grapes. You want to contrast. Like the red ones are super sweet. So what we want to do right now, we're going to season the salmon and let it sit so it can create some of these beautiful flavors. But first, let me get everything off my board to show you how we do it. Put all this stuff over here. Because I put all my things out, I just want everybody to see. So the herbs that we'll be using for the lemon and herb couscous are Italian flat parsley, cilantro, and mint. People don't understand, mint goes very well in savory cooking. It is amazing. Then we're actually adding some ginger as well, but that's going in the barbecue sauce too. So we want you to know about that. Gotta have onion, celery. We have our broccoli. Then our grapes. Our grapes are gonna get roasted. So we wanna put those in our roasting pan. We're getting ready to put those in the oven. We're actually allowing the oven to preheat, okay? So the preheating of the oven, I actually am preheating it up to 507 degrees. Reason why I have it so high is because I want it to caramelize the outside without compromising the inside. It still gives it a nice graze, very caramelized, almost charred outside, but the flesh is still soft, supple, and it's juicy. So it creates its own juice that I'm actually going to use in the barbecue sauce that we're going to make from scratch, okay? So right now what I want to do is grab my gloves and we're going to skin this salmon real quick. It's not a whole side, it's a small side, so it's actually pretty easy. You see, these are my surgical gloves. We're about to go into surgery. But the funny part is, no man ever wants to hear that sound. This. But, alright, so real simple, easy way to get it off. You start on the bottom and you see nice little pieces that come apart. You see the skin right there, you can pull it. If you can get a hold of it, just nicely pull it apart, but you can't. So you want to lay it flat. Take your knife, put your knife flat against the board, and you should be able to get a nice little piece off, right? Normally, just grab it. Just run your fingers behind it. This is the easy way to do it. This is the way that we do it in a restaurant. We'll take a whole side and just do it this way. And this way, you're not compromising the salmon. You're actually getting all of the salmon that you want. See? It just peels off, just like this. Nice and simple. Beautiful piece. Sometimes I leave the skin on, this time I'm not. Now I can take my gloves off. Cut it into two. So, put those in our pan and grab our lemons. Want to roll your lemon a little bit. Want to cut it in half. Squeeze over top. We're going to flip it over and squeeze the rest of the lemon over. Beautiful. So now, be right back. We're going to grab our seasoning so I can show you exactly what we do with it. Welcome back. It's great to see y'all again. Yeah, let me take a sip. You already know, Chef K's kitchen. Come on in. So, we already started with our salmon. So right here, I have a little onion powder. So we're looking at basically a teaspoon per side. Straight on top. Straight on top, right? Flip it. Garlic powder. Just rub it in. Alright, so then we have a little bit of complete seasoning. You see I'm seasoning it liberally because it's actually going to end up coming off when you flip it over, the lemon juice and everything else. So you just want to make sure you get a nice little coating on it because that's what we're going to do. Just show it to you. You enjoy it. I'm telling you, this is going to be amazing. Never had roasted grape barbecue sauce. I promise you, it's something new, something unconventional that tickles the fancy. You know you can't have fish without Old Bay. And this, you gotta be careful because Old Bay has a very high sodium content. And granted, that's what it's for, but it's awesome. So you wanna rub that into the salmon. Look at that. Boom, flip it. One more time. And then last but not least, some fresh cracked pepper. Always gotta wash your hands. So, last but not least, fresh cracked pepper. That's what you want right there. I'm trying to tell you. only gonna do it one side because that's the side that I want it to really stick into. And you want to press the corns into the salmon. You see that? Now we're gonna take one last lemon, squeeze it on top. We're gonna set that to the side and let it sit. So what we wanted to do, look at that, flavor our salmon. And salmon is a very mild fish. One thing you should know about salmon is when you buy it, if it smells fishy, it means it's old. Fresh salmon actually smells like fresh cucumbers. When you see it and you smell it, it should smell like fresh cucumbers. If it does not, there are things that means it's old. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad, but you want it to smell like cucumbers. If it doesn't, there's some things you can do. You can add lemon juice. You can, doctor it up a little bit, but it's cool. So right now, this is our salmon. Look at that. Oh yeah. Can't tell me that's not sexy. So we're gonna set that right there. Off to the side. We gotta get our grapes roasting, right? So I've already pre-washed my grapes. You just wanna remove them from the vine. And I told you guys, I don't know how, I came up with it because I had some grapes that were getting ready to go bad and I really wanted to try something new. And I said, okay, let's try it. I love grapes. I actually kind of like raisins. So I was like, let's figure this out. Let's try something different. And honestly, it's very, very simple. And the flavors that it brought out, amazing. It's one of those things where I just couldn't believe how good it tasted. So I've adapted some things. I'm trying it some more. I want to do even more stuff with it. It's awesome. We look forward to it. Oh man. And then I got my DJ. It makes my life pretty cool. I'm actually getting paid to do what I love. So I'm very thankful for all of y'all out here, man. Thank you for following me on my IG, Instagram, Culinary Project, spelled with a K. So it's Kulianry. The Culinary Project. You can find me on Facebook, all of the above, IG, my website. We do it. And seriously, the handsome chef is here for you. Ooh, that's a lot of hate. That's a lot of hate. But that's what we do. It's awesome, man. So, this is the most tedious part of this whole process, is getting the daggone grapes off the vine. We already told you we preheated the oven to 507 degrees. I want it super hot. And it is waiting. It's ready. And the fresher the grapes, the better, because they hold up very well to the high heat. So right now, all we're doing is just taking off these last little pieces, getting it together. Just excited about the turnout. You guys got to see what it looks like when it's all said and done. Because if you think this is good, all my people know we keep it sexy around here. Definitely. So, boom, it's done. Oh my God. I keep finding more and more pieces. But it's essential to make sure you just take your time and you get all the stuff that you need and you put it over there. Putting everything in place. So we take it off. Add a little olive oil to it. That is exactly a quarter of a cup. I promise you. And see, what you want to do is toss the grapes in the olive oil so everything is nice and shiny. And olive oil is great for your hands. But I'll put these in the oven. And we're going to forget about it, as my Italian friends say. You got to let it go probably about a good 10 to 15 minutes for your roasted grapes. And after that, you just want to make sure you're caramelizing the outside and you have a very good char on the outside, because that's what gives the grapes the flavor and it brings out the natural sweetness in the grapes, which is going to lend itself to the barbecue sauce that we're making. Oh. See, Everybody knows we gotta have a dance break every now and then. Y'all know what we do. A little dance break, it's always good. It's good for the soul. Pop those in the oven. Actually, you want to put them on the bottom rack as close to the heat as possible. So now, got that part done. We're gonna get our couscous together in just a minute. We're gonna do that because the couscous is an amazing part of this dish, and it takes a little while. So with it taking a little while, you want to do that first, right? Because everybody that's followed me for a while and they know how we get down. It's just like we do a whole meal, right? The whole meal in front of you, live, do it. So, gotta make sure we do the couscous and get it actually soaking and ready, because it's actually going to speed up the cooking process. So this right here is 8 ounces of couscous. Now, it's a very large pan, so it really doesn't fill up like you want it. But the amount of water to this is usually 1 cup to every 4 ounces. So, me personally, rule of thumb, just messing with you. I'm not going to use water. You thought, come on, let's do something better. Let's elevate it. Bam, veggie stock. Now, normally I make my veggie stock from scratch. Like, you see the onions, the celery, and everything else. All I do is take the onion, celery, which is, you start off, every stock starts off with this, which is a mirepoix base, right? Mirepoix. 50% onion, 25% carrot, 25% celery. That's your 100% right there. And if you're from New Orleans, you know what it is. You know the Trinity. Green pepper, celery, onion. Boom. You remove the carrot, add green pepper. There you go. You have your Holy Trinity. But that's the basis for all stock. I promise you, all stock. That's the base, right? So you want to start with your mirepoix mix. And when you're making stock, you can use every piece of the onion, every piece of your herb, every piece of everything. All of this. Just throw it in there, boil it, because you're going to strain it off. All right? But for right now, we're getting our couscous together. Couscous is a pasta. So there is gluten as far as that's concerned. That's the only allergen. So I'm adding a tablespoon of olive oil, right? And then you mix. And you want the olive oil to coat every grain, every kernel. It's almost like you're doing it a pilaf style for rice. I wanted to do that because what it does is coats the outside and creates and helps to hold its shape. So you have nice, fully round balls. I had to say something, but the fully formed round couscous is what you want. That's the reason why you use the oil. You know, I have children with me. It's funny. It's hilarious. But now, seasoning wise, onion powder, tablespoon. Garlic powder, tablespoon. Paprika, teaspoon. Dash of Old Bay. Then 8 turns cracked black pepper, 2 turns of salt. Gotta open this up real quick. Oh, there's a little perforated line. You know, this is child-proof. I consider myself a big kid. But we did it, y'all. And you got 2 turns of salt. Now, our herbs, right? This is lemon and herb, correct? So, you're gonna add lemon twice. Right now, we're gonna add just 1 lemon. You notice what I'm doing? I'm rolling it because I want to release the juice on the inside. All right, hurry. So, you want to squeeze our lemon directly into our couscous, right? And yes, you should be using a strainer so you can get the seeds out. Seeds are bitter. So, luckily, all my seeds are right on top. So, just grab your seeds out. But to reduce this step, you use a strainer. That works, okay? So you pull them out, and that's that. So now, we have our couscous. We have it seasoned. Not yet. So now we grab our parsley, our cilantro, and our mint. All of these are gonna go into our couscous. We're gonna put our barbecue sauce off to the side because we're getting ready to do that as well. First, let's check on our grapes. They're starting to cook, they're starting to blister. You can smell them, you can see them. So now what we're gonna do is a cut called chiffonade, which is basically an 1/8 of an inch. Normally you just take the herbs and you roll them all the way up. But you just want it very small, very thin. See that? And you want to cut down to the stem. And remember I said when making stock, you want to keep the stem, you want to use that. But when we're seasoning and putting it in things, that is not a good thing because the stem is actually pretty bitter. So just get rid of the stem real quick because I want to cut all of the herbs together so they can mix very well. And then we're just going to put them in there. And ultimately you want a 1/2 cup of herbs per 8-ounce or 10-ounce box of couscous for your limited herb. So for me, that's what I got. Take that. We have a nice little odd leaf. Here we go. See, it's still roughly cut. That's how you want it. You don't want it to look anywhere. You want it to be rustic. You want it to look good. I mean, like couscous was normally, what, a peasant dish almost for slaves and things like that in the Middle East. It's awesome, but it's also revered by royalty as well. I mean, it's just one of those things that's universal for Middle Eastern cooking. It's one of my favorite pastas to use, and people don't realize it's actually a pasta. So, mix that up. There we go. Boom. Oh my goodness. Trying to tell you. And we're gonna let it sit. We're gonna put our chicken stock, just kidding, our veggie stock in there because I want to keep it on the pescatarian side. All right. So that was 8 ounces of stock. You notice it's still not enough to cover the top. So we're gonna add about 2 or 3 more ounces and we'll come back with that and we'll start our barbecue sauce. So we'll be right back. All right, so welcome back. Told you guys we wanted to look at it. So it's gonna be total like 1 quart of veggie stock. Boom. That is exactly how much we need. Now, that's 1 quart. You see it moving? Now we add our water. You're gonna need roughly about 8 ounces of water because you want the liquid to be right above the couscous. Boom. That is the perfect amount because there's 2-3 ways you can cook it. Me personally, I love cooking the couscous in the oven. And you cook it at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes, right? But right now we're roasting the grapes at 500, so we can't put that in just yet. So we're just gonna let that sit for a second. And this is how it looks. This is what I want you guys to see. Look at that, that's awesome. You see how it's just covering the couscous? Oh, and then we're gonna add something else to it to make the magic happen. So we love that umami flavor. I'm gonna add dried portobello mushrooms, which they're gonna rehydrate into the couscous, and when they rehydrate in the couscous, they're gonna give it that umami and that burst of mushroom flavor. So you just want to mix them in a little bit, and boom, there we go. So barbecue sauce, let's talk about it. That is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I tell everybody, like, they ask me what type of food that I would cook and how I cook. I was like, honestly, it's Asian fusion, and it's awesome because I'm taping this with cool ass Japanese chef behind me, and I'm like, wow, we're using some of the similar flavors. It's awesome to do that. So right now we're going to make this roasted grape ginger barbecue sauce, right? So we're going to make the base for the barbecue sauce, waiting for that, and I just got to wait for that to get out of the oven so I can add the grapes, and then we're going to put it all together and we're going to make something super duper sexy. But in the meantime, I got to make one more drink, so we'll be right back. Yeah, so welcome back. Told you how to get that stuff together, and you already know. Everybody that rocks with me, you see my lives, you know how we get down. Salud. Another drink. The reposado mule. I told you it goes directly with the meal. It's so awesome. So now we're about to prep our barbecue sauce real quick, right? My man Addy knows I got the famous barbecue sauce in the world, so I already know after this comes out, everybody's gonna want it. Chubby Bear Barbecue. Love you. So everybody knows, like, for me, my barbecue sauce, I love it to be ketchup based. Folks don't know, ketchup based barbecue sauces are awesome. So just throw that in there. I'm just making enough for right now. Boom. Now, right here, that's a little of the secret sauce. Can't tell you what that is. So then we have garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit more garlic, just because that's the flavor profile that we're going for this sauce. Then ginger, ground ginger, definitely need it. It's a must, right? A little bit complete seasoning, just a tad bit. The biggest deal right here is our sugar. And I'm using all natural cane sugar. This is a quick barbecue sauce for me. This isn't my recipe, but this is what I put together for the salmon. So that's about a half a cup of sugar. And we're gonna need to add another cup of sugar. So you need a total of 1.5 cups of brown sugar or sugar in the raw. And then we're gonna add our vinegar. So as soon as we do that, we'll be right back and our sauce will be done. Welcome back. Great to see y'all again. Told you, we want to add a little bit more sugar. So we have 1.5 cups of sugar. We have all our seasonings in there, right? And then the secret sauce. You want to add about 3 tablespoons of mustard. That's what gives barbecue sauce that twang. A little bit of mustard. You already know, we keep it clean. Now, this is when the magic happens. You notice I put most of the wet ingredients in and the dry. Last but not least, a little vinegar. You notice it has an odd color, it's balsamic. Put that on there. Now, you're asking me, how do I know the measurements? I promise you, I've been doing it so long that I know them pretty much by heart in my hand, right? In my head. That is 1/2 cup. And the reason why I've done it so many times, I did it with my kids because I also teach kids how to cook. And I had a little experiment with them. And they laughed. They were like, nah, you can't know your measurements. We did them. And every time I did it, just by sight, that's what started. And you notice I'm whisking it in, whisking everything around to create my barbecue sauce. But what are we missing? The roasted grapes and the ginger. So, this is what it looks like when it's mixed. You know I'm coming to show y'all. This is the station. This is what we do. Look at that. Look at that. All right, nice incorporated. Look at the sound. Look at it. I'll show you how it should look on a spoon. We call that nappe. That's what it is when it coats the back of a spoon, right? I have so many. Let's see. That's how you know your sauce is ready and done. Because it coats the back of a spoon. That's nappe. Let's taste it. Told you. I'm a bad boy. Or at least that's what they tell me. So, I'm telling you, you can't cook without music. That's the reason why I got a DJ. You gotta love it. In my household, I grew up cooking with my grandma. I started when I was 6, so it was just one of those things where I was the kid that was in the kitchen that actually was cooking and having fun while the other kids were outside playing. But for me, I was playing. It was great. Let's check our grapes. Woohoo! They're almost ready. Show them to you. The fond is what we're going to use because we're going to deglaze it with a little bit of the sauce itself to get all of that incorporated. So, I'm going to use probably roughly half, and I'm going to reserve the rest for our garnish at the end for the whole meal. So, these are very, very hot. Be careful when you pull it out of the oven. Now we're going to adjust our oven so we can cook our couscous. All right, you guys, so we back. We got the oven set to 400 now. So we're gonna put our couscous in. Look at that. See, it's already absorbed the water. So what you wanna do is add a little bit more, which is about 8 ounces of water, just on top. Put that on the top rack, let it go. So, our sauce. Now, the magic. I have some roasted grapes that I'm adding. Ooh, look at that. This pan is hot. So just in case y'all didn't think it was real, it's definitely real. But I'm using roughly 50% of what I cook. Boom. And then I want some of the juice in the oil. Oh yeah. So this right here is how the magic happens. Now, hand mixer, if you don't have one, you need to have one in your kitchen. This is the most versatile and beautiful tool that you can have. You can make drinks, you can make sauces, you can make dressings, you can do whatever you want with it. And then also it blends and it makes life easy for you. We're gonna plug this in and we're moving. I'm learning my new kitchen, y'all, that's all. Here we go. Now, we're incorporating the roasted grapes, everything into the sauce. Oh my God, it's making the sauce unbelievable. Yeah, I'm letting it mix. I don't know, I think I got a DJ back there. We can't hear him though. You already know. Hold on. You already know, we got a dance break. Hold on. Come hang out with me. You already know. Chef K's Kitchen. Welcome. Come on in. And this Tequila Mule, I told you. This is not your ordinary show, baby. Not your ordinary show. So what this is doing is incorporating a lot of air. That's why you see bubbles. And we're gonna let that go. Now, we are done with that. And we're gonna taste it. That is an essential part of cooking. Gotta be honest, every time I cook, I'm not hungry at the end. And everybody's like, oh, come on, you gotta eat, you gotta eat, you gotta eat. Number one, let me tell you something. If you know a professional chef and you have a chef in your life and they actually take the time to cook for you personally, understand me, that is a gesture of love. Like, it is 100% gesture of love. This is our job. This is what we do. We do it all the time. But when we do it for the people we love, we do it a little bit different. And like, I love all of you. This is what I'm doing right now. This is something different. I have people that are supporting me, people that show me so much love, man. Like even from today, the people I just met, it's amazing what happens when food is involved. So again, when you know a personal chef, you thank them. You give them a kiss. Smack them on the ass and say good job. But let's face it.
We love you, son, but we ain't giving you no kiss.
Word. Thank you. Now. Oh my God. Hold on. I got that. Hold on. You ever make something that's better than you thought it was? Let's try. Yeah. We did something there. I need you all to understand that right there is all of hot fire. So now, take our barbecue sauce and we marinate our salmon in it. Because last but not least is the salmon that we're gonna cook. If you notice, I'm doing things in an order, right? I roasted the grapes. That's the reason why I focus on a meal, because I wanna show you how to do the whole meal from start to scratch. You know what I'm saying? Like I have people that follow me, we cook together, and I give them everything because I want them to learn how we do it from start to finish so they can do it on their own. It's all good to see like a couple things are like, oh, but no, how does this all work? We have a drink, we have a meal, and dessert. That's on you. You figure that one out. So, we have our barbecue sauce done. We'll transfer that into a different container, put it in the pan, and we're gonna move on to our broccoli and get that ready and put that in the pan, and we're gonna roast that off as well. This is how we do. Be right back. Welcome back. Yo, it's funny. Like we've been doing stuff behind the scenes y'all don't understand. Like it's hilarious because we're just figuring out open source music and things like that. So now you see the salmon. Oh my God! Like this is what happens when you let it sit. Oh, you can't tell me that's not sexy. Look at that. It's ready, right? Now what you got to remember is acid cooks seafood. Lemon juice is an acid. It cooks it. So you can't marinate it for too long, hour or so, you're good. That's why you start looking at it starting to change colors a little bit, right? Doesn't look raw, actually. So now what we're gonna do, that barbecue sauce we just made, nice little brush on top, right? We're gonna let it go and see what we don't wanna do is cross-contaminate our barbecue sauce. So we wanna take that and pour it into a smaller vessel, which allows us to control what we use and not contaminate the big pot of barbecue sauce of which we're going to use for everything. You know what I mean? So, look at that. Oh my goodness. So, I told you, I'm all about sexy food. All about it, right? Boom. Now, I'm gonna let that sit. That's what we're gonna do. It's waiting for us. Last but not least, our broccoli. You're asking me what the onions and the celery are for? You're getting ready to find out. Because honestly, it's for the garnish that we're gonna create for the salmon. So, broccoli. First of all, cut that little bit of end off. Next one, same thing. Now, me personally, I cut it down the middle. See that? For presentation purposes, this is what I want. All I'm doing is halving it and halving it. And for those of y'all that are asking, oh my God, you didn't wash? Yes, I did. I washed them already. Everything has been pre-washed. It's TV magic. I love you. So, you see what I have. Basically stalks. No, didn't take the leaves off. I like the rustic look because we're doing this for plating. Because you'll see once I start to plate and I do the plates for the whole dish, now you're going to understand where the garnishes come in and what we're doing for it and how we're doing it and why it looks the way it looks, right? So, but the onions are going with the broccoli. Because it's going to be awesome. You put them together, you roast them together. So the easiest way to cut an onion that I've learned, just like everybody knows, it's 1,000,001 ways to skin a cat, right? Me personally, cut one end. Cut the other end, slice down the side, peel it. Done. So, now the cut on the onion is easy for me because I want it julienne, which is about 1/8 of an inch, but I can do that in my sleep. See? And look, this is how you do it. See that? I wasn't even looking at it. 90% cut rate. Beautiful. So this is what we have. Put that over there. Told you. Look at that. Now, just so you know, I mean, you watch me do it, you can look at it. Food is life. I love food and food loves me. So being able to do these things is a God-given talent and I'm just thankful I can. So now, grab our pan. Because today is the roaster special. So all we're doing today is roasting, right? So we take our broccoli and some of our onions. And we're gonna break them up. All the broccoli. See that? I'm gonna break them up. Add a little olive oil. Favorite ingredient, y'all, EVO. So you need about 1/4 of a cup. Guess what the seasoning is for this though? Keep it simple, stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people try to do too much. And when I say do too much, I mean legitimately do too much. You don't need all that. You don't need all the extra, everything else. I promise you, this is gonna be delicious and all I'm using is salt and pepper. That's it. Yes, seasonings are awesome. We use them for a lot of things. But this right here, just roasted broccoli, when I tell you it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be amazing. And I actually have done a special and I'm gonna do my next show. The only seasonings I use completely are salt, pepper, and sugar. And I'm gonna show you how to do something amazing with all of that. But you gotta tune in next time though, I promise you. So, all you wanna do is toss it. See me? Yes, this is the time you get to play with your food. Parents always told you not to play with your food, but that's why I became a chef, so I can play with my food. It's awesome. So you want to make sure the oil coats everything. You have your broccoli, you have your onions, you have all of that stuff in there, right? See, boom, nice and shiny, beautiful. That's how we do it. Now, what do? What's our thing? Put it in the oven and what? Forget about it. Nah, I'm kidding. It's hilarious, but yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes from all the Italian mob movies and everything else. Is like, forget about it. So, but in the eyes of my man Bernie Mac, rest in peace, I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna cook this food. We're gonna put it in the oven, we're gonna roast it, so we're gonna make it taste delicious. But you ain't ready for that. All right, here we go. So, take them, put them in the oven. Woo. Nope, and it's looking amazing, I promise you. So, now, I'm gonna take the rest of our onions, put them off to the side, and cut up the rest of our garnish, and then we're gonna saute our garnish. And you notice I still haven't cooked the salmon yet. That's on purpose. Because one thing is true, salmon is very sensitive, and then you don't want to overcook it. I usually cook salmon to about medium rare, which is about 111 to 114 degrees, because that's that way. Now, a lot of people will say it's not. Honestly, it's everybody's preference. Me personally, I like my salmon medium rare. I still like it juicy, I like it moist, and yeah, sometimes thin. I don't know. I love sushi, so I eat sushi quite a bit. So again, raw fish, raw seafood, awesome. So, celery, right? Now, I just want a couple stalks. This one's all bruised and ugly. That's what we do with that. See these two? Perfect. Nope, bruised. And you gotta understand, like, we're looking for stuff for the garnish. This is what we're looking for, like garnish. So it has to be beautiful, it has to look good. We can put this off to the side. And first, cut off the ends. That's not what I'm gonna need. You notice I'm actually trying to make them both the same size. This, I'm telling you, I would keep all of this for stock. That's what I would use this for, but we're not making stock. So now, you want to cut at a bias, because the bias gives it that look. So now you understand when you get the Chinese food what this is. Because I promise you, you did not know what this was when you got your Chinese food. It's celery. That's all it is. I promise you. And you cut it at a bias because it gives it a look for your garnish. Boom. There we go. So we have our celery cut up. Probably gonna cut one more just to be safe. Not that ugly one. All these are ugly. So, got the end off, and you notice, yes, I'm leaving the leaves on because I like the leaves, and I honestly like the flavor that it gives the dish as well. Boom. Put that in there with our onions. Now, ginger, you notice, I'm not peeling it. Don't need to. Very small cuts. Yeah, I'm not playing with that. See that? Boom. Very thin, very small. The reason why I left the skin on is for presentation purposes now. Here we go. You already know, little dance break. So then, you want to add some of your roasted grapes. Oh yeah. And some of the oil that was created. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So, you already know, I'm gonna bring it to you. We had smell-o-vision, you can see, you can smell it, but look at that. And the only thing that we're gonna season this with is salt and pepper. That's it. Because the garnish, we don't want the garnish to overpower the food. But my chef always taught me one thing. If you garnish it with it on a plate, you should be able to eat it. None of this foo-foo stuff where you just adding stuff to make it look pretty. Everything on your plate should be edible. And I'm from that old school mindset that if I garnish it, it needs to be garnished that way, right? So now, this is the roasting special, right? This, you see I'm tossing it just with the grape oil. That is crazy. You know I gotta try one of these though. You know what it is when the food makes you dance. Oh my God, that's the fat back happy dance. You understand? That's the big back dance. And for those of y'all don't know, big back is hilarious. But you also know, clean as you go. Got to. So, It is the roasting special, so you know where these are going. Straight to the oven. But I'm actually gonna put them directly on the bottom of the oven because I want them to be fire roasted. So our couscous is almost done. So guess what we get to do now? Start our salmon. And we gotta make sure it's nice and hot. Here we go. So, what you really have to do is make sure that your pan is super duper hot, right? And you also want to make sure you have your presentation plates ready. Let's see. Put our salmon right here. Plates right there. Told you guys. Man, it hurts my heart that we're coming close to the end, but you already know I love spending time with y'all. And you know, from now on we're going live, so we'll talk to you doing the presentation, doing the production. It's how I do it. You get to see some of the behind the scenes. You want to see some of the behind the scenes coming up. Like again, thank y'all for all the love, the support, and how we do it. So again, I'm just letting the pot get hot, letting the pan get hot, super hot. Now we're going to check our couscous to make sure couscous is done, right? Exciting. Getting ready to pull this stuff out of the oven. Now, this is crazy. This is before we even stir it up. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is how we do it. This is awesome. Put it up. Oh my goodness. Told you. Perfection. Perfection. Look at that. So now we're gonna stir it up. Remember I said we're gonna add lemon twice, right? I'm gonna let it sit for a second. Look at that, that is awesome. So, we're gonna let that sit for a second. Nice and fluffy, air out. And right before we serve it, we're gonna add another squeeze of lemon over top, all right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add another squeeze of lemon over top. We're getting ready to cook our salmon. Be right back with you. Welcome back. Told you. Now, it is definitely time. It's salmon time. Couscous is ready. Oh, one critical part, you already know what we do. Have to taste it. You can taste all the flavors, I promise. And then when I finish it with that lemon, squeeze it on top and toss it, it's gonna hit it with that nice burst. It's gonna be crazy, I promise you. So, olive oil, your pan for your salmon. Pan's really hot. I want it really hot on purpose. So all you do, rotate it around, you see a little smoke, that's good, it's okay. So you wanna get rid of your excess oil. Put your pan down. And you want to start presentation side down first, which is this side. Oh yeah. You hear that? That's the sexiness. So if you don't hear that when you put your salmon down, if you don't hear that nice that's what you need to hear. That lets you know your salmon's cooking. And see, I have it on high, like very high, on purpose, because I'm searing the outside and I'm gonna flip it, I'm gonna sear the other side. Then I'm gonna turn it down and just let it cook for a second. My trusty-dusty fish spatula. That's what this is. If you didn't know, that's what this is. This is a seafood spatula, a fish spatula. Specifically, that is one of the things that I had to learn, you know, culinary school, everything else. Go. Wow, it's almost time. Y'all watch, you know, we make 2 drinks and then we just go to straight tequila from that. But no, I'm kidding. Awesome time. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's almost over. I'm getting a little sad, but I'll give you the heart. Because you spent this time with me, man. 30 minutes seemed like hours. So, notice, letting the fish cook. I'm gonna check it. Beautiful. Oh, not enough. So now, is when you start basting it. Getting the excess off. And remember, we grab our salmon barbecue, put it on top. So right now, we're already cooking the bottom. And see, this is cast iron, so it's beautiful. I'm gonna let it cook for another 2 minutes. So basically what you wanna do, you wanna cook it for about 4 minutes for the first side, the presentation side, cook it for 4 minutes, right? Then you flip it and you cook it for 3 minutes on the other side, depending on the thickness, but that 3 minutes, and those 3 minutes is definitely what you want because it's gonna get my salmon to about medium rare, which we talked about. Then now, we'll start the plating. We have everything else in the oven, it's roasting, it's ready. It's awesome. So, I go almost center of the plate. A nice little mound for height. Let me move this out of your way so you can see. It's awesome. Look at that. You hear the salmon behind me just getting sexy for us? It's beautiful. Now, it's time for the roasted broccoli. I told you, this is the roasted special. So, most of the stuff we're doing is roasted except for the salmon because that's what I want. Done. And we'll let that do what we call carryover cooking, which is the residual heat from the pan and everything else is going to allow it to continue to cook up the temperature. But it also gives you that beautiful, beautiful look. So, remember those branches we cut? That's the reason, for presentation purposes, right? What we learned is that we want height, but we don't want height just for no reason. We want height that actually accentuates what we're doing. Remember the onions we cut? A little bit. Right on top, right? So, the excess we'll put off to the side. Before we put the salmon on the plate, this is one of the ones where we just add a little bit. In others, we'll do 2 different styles. This one, we'll wait till the salmon is done. We'll put that on there. So, now, this So, we go for height, but we don't do it just for any reason. We do it for purposes of how we want the plate to look, right? So, right now, plate looks a little iffy. Because one, I would rather use a squirt bottle. So, as always, clean your plate up before you send it out, before service. That's what we do as executive chefs on the pass. The pass is the expo line. So, clean it up a little bit. Then, a couple grapes. Roasted grapes. And you all remember, there's one more thing in the oven. So, now, our garnish, our roasted garnish. Told you guys. Grapes, ginger, onions. Oh, that's sexy. Told you how we do it. So we mix it up a little bit because we want the grape, we want all that good roasted on top. Boom. So that's our first flavor. That's what we do, y'all. This out of their way. So we did it that way. A little contemporary, roasted grape, salmon. So now we'll take the second one and do it old school. Then so for your garnish, that here's one other thing that I was forgetting. Grapes, definitely. But for this, so now we have a cleaner plate, and that's what we did for our people. Two different types of how you do it, how you plate it. Well, you still want to plate for height, want to plate for look. And that's what we did. Alright, so, oh my God. We did all this work. We gotta see how it all comes together. You know what I'm saying? So, first, let's taste the salmon. Hold on. Pardon me. Now I gotta put them all together. Like this. I'm telling you, perfect medium rare. Oh my God. Like the flavor, I can't even express how awesome it is. Like, it's just bananas. Salmon still moist. See how it just cuts, flaky. Oh my God, look at that. Perfect medium rare. Told you. This is what we do. That's what I'm talking about. So, roasted grape barbecue salmon, lemon and herb couscous, roasted broccoli and herb. Oh my God. It's a meal for you. Then you add it with the mule. Perfect date night. Te quiero mucho, baby. I love y'all. Chef K's Kitchen, y'all. Come on in. Appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. You can find me at theculinaryproject.com, The Culinary Project on IG, Culinary Project on X, formerly Twitter. Threads is The Culinary Project. And Facebook, The Culinary Project, or Chef K Bell. It's been amazing spending this time with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to come to your home and hang out with you. Appreciate you hanging out with me. It's been amazing. DJ Addy Ad, I love you. Appreciate you. Everybody.
Got you, brother.
I'm telling you, we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.